Let me ask one final question, if I could, and you've kind of already just in the last several minutes answered this, but a fair number of our audience are young, up-and-coming leaders. I'm sure you are approached all the time by these young people and asked for your advice, but what advice would you give a young, up-and-coming leader?
Gary, if I would look at the book itself, which is kind of just the stories of my career, it doesn't try to lecture, it just kind of tells the story. I'd say a couple things are going to be important as you go forward. One is you've got to understand disruption. You've got to understand technology. You've got to pick what's next, right? And that's because we live in a time of relentless change. And so you have to have your own point of view on what's going to happen next. So that's key. You got to be willing to make decisions, right? And frequently you make decisions with imperfect information. You're going to be criticized, you're going to be judged, but you have to have the ability to make decisions. You have to connect with people, right? You need to make leadership personal. You've got to be willing to connect and build teams and build trust. And you have to understand that sometimes people you don't trust, who you leave in their jobs, they're going to break your heart. And so I think you can see that. You got to be a problem solver. You got to solve problems you created, right? It's always easy to solve other people's problems, but you have to solve problems that you created, and that's really hard. And then lastly, I just think, Gary, you got to take a punch, right? I tell the last day of class in my business school class, I always say to my students, a good career answers 3 questions, right? One is how fast you can learn. I had the chance to get smarter every day. Some days I didn't get smarter. That was on me. But I had the chance to get smarter every day, right? How fast can you learn? How much can you give, right? What are you willing to give to others? What are you willing to kind of do for others? What are you willing to kind of commit to make the world a better place? And then how much can you take? Can you work hard? Can you be criticized? Can you fail and dust yourself off and get up again and keep trying? And if you can learn, if you can give, if you can take a punch, you're going to find your own way in this life. And people tend to give up too soon. And so I would tell all those things to people that are watching your great podcast and Lessons for Leaders.